Hey y'all, it's Cam again. So this is video 3 of the Maxwell, New York deposition transcript. This is where Virginia Giuffre versus Jelaine Maxwell, they're sitting down for the deposition and going through all of this. Oh, this attorney just keeps saying, I object to the Foreman Foundation, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, the we're going to start here. This is page 65. um, let's see where it says, did you have sex with her, Mr. Pagliuca? This is the same instruction about consensual or non-consensual. Was redacted under the age of 18 when you hired her? No, I didn't hire her as I said, Jeffrey did. Did redacted ever have sex with Jeffrey? Mr. Pagliuca, objection to the form and foundation. How would I know what somebody else did? You weren't involved in the sex between Jeffrey, redacted, and yourself. Were you involved with sex between Jeffrey, redacted, and yourself? Mr. Pagliuca, everyone is talking over each other. You heard the question. Again, you know what the instruction is. If there is any consensual issue involved, I instruct you not to answer. Moving on. So you're refusing to answer that question? I've been instructed by my lawyer. Did you ever have sex with Jeffrey, redacted, Virginia, and yourself when Virginia was underage? Absolutely not. Mr. Pagliuca, we've been going for about an hour. I would like to take a 5-minute break, please. Miss McCauley, I'm almost done. Mr. Pagliuca, you're not going to allow a break? Miss McCauley, as soon as I get through my line of questioning, which is perfectly appropriate. Did redacted travel with you and Jeffrey to Europe? I'm sure she did. What is she doing today? I have no idea. Do you speak to her regularly now? Do you speak to her? No. Do you know where she lives? No. Do you know what country she lives in? No. Where is the last place you knew that she lived? Last place I knew for sure was in Los Angeles. When did she stop working for you? 2001, 2002. What task did she performance for you? She helped me with moving in and out of houses, construction. She was a general help. She helped with buying things that needed to be purchased. If I needed her to stand in for me during meetings, it was a very wide ranging job. Did she ever bring females to perform massages for Jeffrey? Mr. Pagliuca, objection to the Foreman Foundation. What are you asking me? Was it ever redacted responsibility to bring females to the house for the purposes of massaging Jeffrey? Redacted's job was to help me with the house and work in homes. It was not her job to whatever you just said, bring masseuses. Did she do that? I have no recollection. I have no idea. Did you pay redacted or did Jeffrey pay? Jeffrey, do you recall how much she was paid? I do not. Ms. McCauley, I think we can take a break. The videographer is 10:02 and we're off the record, recess. Videographer, it's now 10:18. We're back on the record and starting disc number 2. Ms. Maxwell, I asked you about Virginia Roberts earlier. Can you describe what Virginia Roberts' duties were when she was with Mr. Epstein? Mr. Pagliuca, objection to the Foreman Foundation. I believe that Virginia was a masseuse. Was Virginia required to dress up in any way for massages? Objection to the Foreman Foundation. I have no idea. Did you provide Virginia with outfits to wear for certain massages? I have no idea what you're talking about. For example, did you ever provide Virginia with a schoolgirl outfit to wear for massage? I have no idea what you're talking about. So you didn't provide her with that? As I just testified, I have no idea what you're talking about. I was trying to interpret whether you didn't understand what a schoolgirl outfit was, or you're saying that that didn't happen. I clearly know what a schoolgirl outfit is. I have no recollection of providing anybody with a schoolgirl outfit. Did you ever did you have a set of outfits used by the massage therapist that would include things like a schoolgirl outfit or a black patent leather outfit or anything of that nature? Mr. Pagliuca, object to the foreman foundation. That would be just another one of Virginia's lies. You didn't have anything like that? I did not. Did you have a basket of sex toys that you kept in the Palm Beach house? Mr. Pagliuca, objection to the foreman foundation. First of all, what do you mean? A laundry basket that contains sex toys in it. Mr. Pagliuca, objection to the foreman foundation. Can you ask the question again? Did you have a laundry basket that contains sex toys in it in the Palm Beach house? Mr. Pagliuca, objection to the foreman foundation. Did you have a laundry basket of sex toys in the Palm Beach house? Same objection. You can answer. I don't recollect anything about a laundry basket of sex toys. Do you recollect having sex toys in the Palm Beach house? You have to define what you're talking about. Holy hell, this would be like pulling your freaking teeth. A sex toy, meaning a vibrator of some kind. Sometimes they are called dildos of that nature, anything like that. I don't recall anything that would formally be a dildo, anything like that. How would you describe sex toys? I wouldn't describe sex toys. Did you have anything that was of an electronic nature that would be used during sex? Mr. Pagliuca, objection to the foreman foundation. I have no idea what you're referring to. Maxwell Exhibit 3, transcript marked for identification. So basically, all of this is redacted. They're probably describing something like really naughty. So that's what I would assume. I gotta wait for this to catch up. This is all redacted. Damn, they redacted the hell out of this one. Whoa. Okay. So if you remember one of the other videos I did, if you watched them about all this during one of the grand jury, I think it was, the girl was talking about that they had all these sex toys and basically like a massager with the large head, but it wasn't like a dildo as they it wasn't anything like that. It was just like an actual massager. But anyway, okay, so Mr. Pagliuca, objection to the foreman foundation. First, I have to read this. Sure. Ms. McCauley, I will stop the clock while the witness is reading. Mr. Pagliuca, no. Ms. McCauley, yes, if she's going to read the whole document, I will stop the clock. Mr. Pagliuca, if you give her documents to refresh her recollection, we are on the clock here. Ms. McCauley, then we will take it up with the judge. Mr. Pagliuca, read whatever you need to answer the question. Ms. McCauley, I'm going to set the document aside and I'm just going to ask you a question independent of the document. Do you recall having a basket full of sex toys? I already told you I did not. We're talking a moment ago about Miss Roberts and her position as a masseuse. Do you know what she was paid for working as a masseuse for Jeffrey Epstein? I do not. Did you ever pay her? I don't ever recall paying her. Do you know what happened during the massage appointments with Jeffrey Epstein and Virginia Roberts? Miss Pagliuca, or Pagliuca, whatever. Objection to the foreman foundation? No. Were you ever present to view a massage between Jeffrey Epstein and Virginia Roberts? I don't really recollect ever seeing Virginia and Jeffrey in a massage situation. Do you ever recollect seeing them in a sexual situation? I never saw them in a sexual situation. Did you ever participate in sex with Virginia Robertson, Jeffrey Epstein? I never ever, at any single time, at any point, ever, at all, participated in anything with Virginia and Jeffrey. For the record, she is an absolute total liar, and you all know she lied on multiple things, and that is just one more disgusting thing she added. Did you help her obtain an apartment in Palm Beach to live in? Mr. Pagliuca, objection to the foreman foundation. Was that part of your responsibilities for Jeffrey? First of all, I didn't know she had an apartment in Palm Beach. I only learned that from the many times you guys have gone to the press to tell stories. So no. Did you help her get a cell phone? Was that one of your responsibilities for Jeffrey? To get her as a cell phone as part of the masseuse obligations? Mr. Pagliuca, objection to the former foundation. I don't know what that means. Masseuse obligation. I don't know what you're referring to. Would you like to ask the question properly? I think it was proper. I will ask it again. Did you ever assist in getting Virginia Roberts a cell phone to use during the time that she worked for Jeffrey Epstein? I have no recollection of doing anything of that nature. Did you ever tell Virginia that you wanted her to have a cell phone so that she could be on a call or on call regularly? I have no recollection of that conversation. How often would Virginia come over to the house in Palm Beach to give massages? Mr. Pagliuca, objection to the former foundation. Ask the question again, please. How often did Virginia Roberts come over to the house in Palm Beach to give massages? It's important to understand that I wasn't with Jeffrey all the time. In fact, I was only in the house less than half the time, so I cannot testify to when I wasn't in the house, how often she came when I wasn't there. What I can say is that I barely would remember her. If not for all of this rubbish, I probably wouldn't remember her at all, except she did come from time to time, but I don't recollect her coming as often as she portrayed herself. How many times a day, on an average day, would Jeffrey Epstein get a massage? Mr. Pagliuca, objection to the former foundation. When I was at the house and when I was there with him, he received a massage on average about once a day. Just once? Yes. Were there days when he received four or five? Whoa, that is gross. Ugh. And Mr. Pagliuca, objection to the former foundation. When I was present at the house, I never saw something like that. Do you know if Virginia was required to be on call at all times to come to the house if Jeffrey wanted her there? Mr. Pagliuca, objection to the former foundation. I have no idea of the arrangements that Virginia made with Jeffrey. When Virginia was in New York, would Virginia sleep at Jeffrey's mansion in New York? Mr. Pagliuca, objection to the former foundation. I don't recollect her being in New York, and I have no idea where she slept. You don't ever remember seeing Virginia Roberts in New York. Mr. Pagliuca, objection to the former foundation. I would barely recollect her at all except for this story. Do you recall Virginia Roberts calling you because she was having a medical crisis and you and Jeffrey taking her to the hospital? I've heard this absurd story. If any part of it were true, I would remember that, but I do not. I don't remember taking her to the hospital. It's not that I don't remember it. Rose says, you don't remember taking her to the hospital. It's not that I don't remember it. It didn't happen. How do you know that it didn't happen? That's the sort of memory you would recall. Do you recall you said you don't remember her being at the New York mansion? When you were in New York, would you stay at the New York mansion with Jeffrey? I stayed from time to time. Do you recall Virginia being at the New York mansion when Redacted came to visit? Probably King or Prince Andrew, just saying. Mr. Pagliuca, objection to the Foreman Foundation. Like I told you, I don't recall her being at the house at all. How many homes does Jeffrey have? Mr. Pagliuca, objection to the Foreman Foundation. When I was working for him, I think he had 6 maybe. Jeez. Would Virginia stay with him in those homes? Mr. Pagliuca, objection to the Foreman Foundation. I can only testify for when I was present with him, and I cannot say what she did when I wasn't present with him. When you were present, would Virginia stay in the homes with him? I don't recall her staying in the homes. Did you train Virginia on how to recruit other girls for massages? Mr. Pagliuca, objection to the former foundation. No. Did you train Virginia on how to recruit other girls to perform sexual massages? Mr. Pagliuca, objection to the former foundation. No, and it's absurd. And her entire story is one giant tissue of lies. And furthermore, she herself has, if she says that, you have to ask her about what she did. Does Jeffrey like to have his nipples pinched during sexual encounters? Mr. Pagliuca, objection to the former foundation. I'm not referring to any advice on my counsel. I'm not talking about any adult sexual things when I was with them. When Jeffrey would have a massage, would he request that the masseuse pinch his nipples while he was having a massage? I'm not talking about anything with consensual adult situation. What about with underage? I'm not aware of anything. You're not aware of Jeffrey Epstein ever having sex with an underage minor and asking them to pinch his nipples. I'm not. So I'm going to direct you to, I believe it's Maxwell Exhibit 1, the police report. Are you aware that over 30 underage minors have gave testimony to police that they were engaged in sexual acts during quote unquote massages? Mr. Pagliuca, the witness needs to find Exhibit 1. Exhibit 1, if you can hand me that, please. Question. So now with respect to the police report, are you aware that over 30 underage girls, meaning under the age of 18, gave reports to police that they were assaulted sexually by Jeffrey Epstein during massages? Mr. Pagliuca, objection to the Foreman Foundation. I read the police report. That's all I can testify to. Are you aware of what is in the police report? Are you aware that there were 30 girls? I did not count the number of girls, and I did read the police report. I can only testify to what I read. So you are aware that the police report contains reports from 30 underage girls. I can't testify to what the girls said. I can only testify to the fact that I read a police report that stated that. Were you working for Jeffrey? You said you worked for him off and on until 2009. Is that correct? I helped out from time to time. So you were working with him during the time period when these underage girls were visiting Jeffrey's home. Wouldn't that be just like super creepy, like red flaggy for anybody else? I mean, besides these two weirdos, to have like underage teenage kids hanging out with the couple that doesn't have kids? Does nobody like think? Oh, that would be freaking creepy as shit to me. Sorry, but anyway, Mr. Pagliuca, objection to the Foreman Foundation. I was not. What year? I need years. How about let's say 2005? I'm not sure I was at the house at all in 2005. Maybe one day, maybe. How about 2004? I was present for his mother's. His mother died in 2004, so I was there for his mother's death and the funeral. And I was at the house maybe a handful of days again. I would like to direct you to, you have it pulled together now. It's page 39, Bates stamped Giuffre 00040. Can you repeat that, please? Sure. 00040. Yes. At the top of that document, about 3 lines down, you see the redacted portions where there's black. So it's blacks out the name. I see black redacted portions. That's a black redaction of the name of the minor, and there is, I will represent for the record, that's what it is. You can contest that, but I'm not asking about the name of the minor. 5 lines down, it says she was just 16 years of age. Do you see that? I have to read that if you want me to testify to some things. I'm asking you if you see where it says she was just 16 years old. No, I have to read it. It's 5 lines down on the first paragraph. I do see that. Then the next paragraph down, it says, this is the next full paragraph. It says, Epstein lay on the table and told her to get comfortable. Blank could not remember if he was naked or if he entered the room with the towel. And I remember reading this in the grand jury stuff. Blank stated she provided the massage wearing her panties. She continued rubbing his thighs and feet. Blank advised he turned over on his back and continued to rub his legs with oil. Epstein touched her breast and began to masturbate. I asked if she knew what circumcised and uncircumcised meant. She stated circumcised is when the penis had no foreskin. Then jumping down to the next paragraph, it says blank became upset, crying hysterically, and stated she was paid and also instructed to have sex with Epstein and redacted by Epstein. Do you see that there? And I bet that was Nadia. I think that was the one, the other assistant lady. Okay, but anyway, that's just from other documents I've looked at. Do you see that there? I do. Are you aware that there were underage minors in the Palm Beach house that were required to give sexual massages to Jeffrey Epstein? Mr. Pagliuca, objection to the form of foundation. This has been asked and answered already. Now you are just reading a document. Ms. McCauley, I'm allowed to take this deposition. I already testified. Are you aware there were underage girls, 30 of them, in this police report that were assaulted by Jeffrey Epstein in the Palm Beach house during the time you were working there? I am aware that Virginia has lied repeatedly. I'm not asking about Virginia. I'm asking if you're aware that there were over 30 underage girls who gave reports to police officers during the time you worked for Jeffrey Epstein. Are you aware of that? Mr. Pagliuca, counsel, what is your factual basis for asserting there are 30 underage girls who gave reports? Ms. McCauley, I don't have to answer that. Mr. Pagliuca, are you representing, as an officer of the court, that you have personal knowledge that there are 30 people referenced in these police reports? Ms. McCauley, that's my understanding that there are 30 girls. Mr. Pagliuca, how is that your understanding if these are redacted reports? Ms. McCauley, by reading through the reports. Mr. Pagliuca, so you have personal knowledge there are 30 girls. Ms. McCauley, just like can you, if you read through, I will not argue with you, counsel. She can answer yes or no. Are you aware there were over 30 individuals who are minors who gave reports to police, just like the one we just read, that were sexually assaulted by Jeffrey Epstein in the Palm Beach home during the years that you were working with him? Mr. Pagliuca, objection to the form and foundation. You can answer if you have knowledge. I've already testified. I was limited in the house a couple of days. There's no way I knew. I have read these reports. I cannot testify to 30. Given the experience I've had with Virginia's lies, it's very hard for me to testify about what I see. I can tell you or tell from you my personal knowledge. I did not know what you're referring to. You do not know that there were 30 or that there were underage girls in the home that were being assaulted by Jeffrey Epstein during the time you were working there. Based on the lies that have already been told, I cannot comment on any. Are you saying these 30 girls are lying when they gave these reports to police officers? I'm not testifying to their lies. I'm testifying to Virginia's lies. I'm not asking about Virginia's lies. I can only testify to Virginia's lies. I can testify to having read these reports. I cannot testify to anything else about them. So your testimony is that during the time you were working there, you did not know that these minor children were being abused in the home while you were there. What I've already told you, and I will repeat, I was in the house very limited times, very few times. I do not know what you're referring to. I've read these reports, but based on the lies that Virginia has perpetuated, cannot tell you what is true or factual or not. You said you were in the home a very limited time. So average in the year, for example, 2004, how many times would you have been in his Palm Beach home? Very hard for me to state, but very little. How about his New York home? Same. Were you his girlfriend in that year in 2004? Define what you mean by girlfriend. Oh my God. Were you in a relationship with him where you would consider yourself his girlfriend? No. Did you ever consider yourself his girlfriend? That's a tricky question. There were times when I would have liked to think of myself as his girlfriend. When would that have been? Probably in the early 90s. In your responsibilities in working for Jeffrey, would you book massages for him on any given day so that he would have a massage schedule? Would you take a call, for example, and book a massage for him? Mr. Pagliuca, objection to the form of foundation. You can answer. Typically, that was not my responsibility. He would either book the massage himself or one of his other assistants would do that. From time to time, you had to do that. Mr. Pagliuca, objection to the form of foundation. Like I said, typically it was somebody else's responsibility. If you were unable to book a girl for a massage on a given day, would that mean that you were responsible for giving him a sexual massage? Mr. Pagliuca, objection to the form of foundation. I instruct you not to answer any questions about any of your consensual adult sexual activity. Sir, you're not going to answer that question. You just heard my counsel. Have you ever said to anybody that recruiting other girls to perform sexual massages for Jeffrey Epstein takes the pressure off of you? Okay, I'm sorry. I stopped for a second. So is this guy like some kind of a sex maniac? I mean, what the heck? He's obviously a pig, disgusting pedophile, but anyway, Mr. Pagliuca, object to the form of foundation. Repeat the question and break it out. Have you ever said to anybody that you recruit girls? Stop right there. I never recruited girls. Let's stop there. Now break down the question. Have you ever said to anybody, by girls, we're talking about underage people. You said girls. Are you talking about underage? We're not talking about consensual acts. This is a defamation suit. I'm asking the questions. I know what this case is about. I will ask you questions. If you don't understand the question, I can break it down for you. I'm happy to do that. Break it down a lot, please. I will do that. The question is, have you ever said to anybody that you recruit other girls? Why don't you stop there? Let me finish my question. Have you ever said to anybody that you recruit girls to take the pressure off you so you won't have to have sex with Jeffrey? Have you said that? That's the question. You don't ask me questions like that. First of all, you're trying to trap me. I will not be trapped. You're asking me if I recruit. I told you no. Girls meaning underage. I already said I don't do that with underage people. And as to ask me about a specific conversation I had with language, we're talking about almost 17 years ago when this took place. I cannot testify to an actual conversation or language that I used with anybody at any time. Have you ever said to anybody that you recruit other females over the age of 18 to take the pressure off you to have sex with Jeffrey? I totally resent and find it disgusting that you use the word recruit. I already told you I don't know what you're saying about that, and your implication is repulsive. Answer my question. I just did. Have you ever said to anybody that you recruit females? I don't recruit anybody. That's an answer. So you never said that. I'm testifying that I cannot testify to an actual language. It's a yes or no. I will not testify to an actual statement made 17 years ago, so I cannot testify to actual language. All right, I'm going to stop there. Go wash off a little because this is gross. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good one. Bye.